What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the BORA Call of Duty Premier Series Season 6 qualifying at Daytona for the Season 6 Daytona 500. This is the second time we've seen the Call of Duty Premier Series drivers on track. First time you've seen a lot of the drivers, actually, but second time we've seen the series. The first car out on track is Ruby Claudel. And she's in quite the hurry, especially with the new driver behind the wheel, the number 11, Dalton Riley. Not a new team technically for him, as he drove the 02 for Joe Gibbs Racing last season, but he now moved over to the 11. And his teammate Brad Stover pretty far behind with literally no help. Jonathan Hoff in the 00 switched from Stuart Haas Racing to Michael Waltrip Racing. And Mike just made a weird pop. That was weird. Donovan Dewitt finished second in points in both the Traxxas Truck Series and the FedEx Amateur Series last season. He got a ride with arguably the second best team in the Call of Duty Premier Series with Team Penske. Max Claudel returns to the Call of Duty Premier Series after a few seasons of absence. Burt Ford moved over from Junior Motorsports last season to DEI. Nathan Stapleton returns in the 14. Mo Akers returns in the 4. Jay Jefferson with a new home, his third team in 3 years, but it's with Joe Gibbs Racing. It's easily his best team so far. And the Kyle Akers for, I think, the third straight season returns to Everham. Adam Akers once again returns to Hendrick Motorsports for, I believe, the 4th straight season. And Colin Francis with a new team, literally a new team, Black Flag Autosport. But here we are back up to Dalton Riley and Ruby Claudel side by side. That's not how you're gonna. It's not really how you're gonna set the fastest times, being side by side. But let's see what they run. Dalton with a 46.07. That is on the provisional pole. Oh, I think something's wrong with that 11. He had a lift off the gas. I don't know if he has a tight setup. If the 1 took air, or the 21 took air off his spoiler. We are running slightly smaller spoilers this season, so less downforce for these guys. So hanging on someone's quarter will really get them a little loose. A lot looser than last season, that's for sure. The 11 here, though, if he's going for another lap after this one, he is setting himself up nicely by having that small gap between him and the 21. Brad Stover with no help. Ryan Kesey with no help. Good little tandem here between Lone Claudel and Philip John. In the Traxxas Truck Series and FedEx Amateur Series, we have a lot of rookies. But you'll see in this series, man, not too many. We have a lot, but not near as many. And much like in the Amateur Series, we had a ride, or most teams had, the big teams at least, had a ride specifically made for that team's Call of Duty Premier Series driver. You'll see a lot of the Call of Duty Premier Series drivers, at least the big teams, have a ride that will be split with their amateur guys. Here's DEI's Paul Wright is actually driving this one for Daytona. He's in try qualifying his way in. And the number 08 Menard Chevy. Landon Finway is Team Penske's amateur driver in this one. And Ryan Winters is Roush's. So I guess everyone's just getting all lined up. But we have a huge pack here. This is a pack of veterans, let me tell you. Right here, you got the Season 4 Daytona 500 winner and the Season 5 500 winner side by side. Eli Bright and Alexander Rowe. Jeff Bright, your most recent Call of Duty Premier Series points winner, as he won at Homestead last season to end it. Bullet Bill, your all-time wins leader in the Call of Duty Premier Series with 5. And then Max Claudel, who we talked about earlier. Right now, number 1 of Burt Ford is on provisional pole. And just like in truck and amateur qualifying, there will be 2 groups. Obviously, we had to split it in half because there's a lot of drivers. But we'll just combine the times at the end. Burt Ford's about to set himself up for a really good lap. 2:05 entering turn 3. Oh, he's going high because someone's going to pit. That's going to cost him a little bit of time. That's unfortunate. Who's going to pit in this pack, though, is my question. Nobody. I don't know why he ran that high. Oh, Burt had a lift. It's going to be a good lap. A 44.102, man. We were barely getting into the 44s in amateur qualifying. Just shows how much faster these Cup car or Premier cars are. Wow, that's crazy. Could you imagine if he would run the inside going through 3 and 4? He would have been flying. A couple of veterans. Ryan Kesey with a new and improved scheme. Slightly different than last season, but it is, in fact, a little different. Ryan Kesey still going for that first Call of Duty Premier Series win this in his 3rd season. Ruby and Dalton still having a little battle there. Colin Francis trying to get a little draft off of Joe Jefferson and Adam Akers. Remember, the rating system is in effect right now, but you won't really see that at Daytona. I cannot talk, guys. I'm sorry. You will not see that at Daytona really come into play because of their stricter plate. It's the great equalizer as well as the draft. But next week at Atlanta, you will definitely see the rating system. There's another good pack here. You got Alvin Summers, who made the chase last season. Nathan Stapleton, Isaiah Forward, Kyle Akers, Jay Jefferson, and your Season 4 champion, Keon Eddington. We haven't seen last season's champion, Nick Flood, yet. I believe he is in the second pack, or the second group. I'm not sure. We haven't seen him yet, though. As this big pack crossed the line, no one's beaten Bert's lap. Man, that 44-102 is going to be hard to beat. That is a really quick lap. Ryan Winters got shuffled to the outside there. That's going to hurt his lap. As his new teammate, Rebecca Tyler, in that 06. She drove for Chip Ganassi Racing last season. Looking at the points, she did terrible. But she really... Oh my goodness, a wreck. Oh, and Burt Forward's in it. Unbelievable. Eli Bright. Alexander Rowe. Wow. That is very unfortunate. Couple cars here got in the wall. Oh, and Eli Bright and Nathan Stapleton. Wow. Now, at the end of this, we will go and check who needed a tow, because if you needed a tow, you're going to a backup car. If you're able to drive to the pits, even if you technically get a backup car, you don't get penalized because you could drive away. But if you had to get towed back there, you are starting in the back of the field for the duel, irregardless. It won't penalize you for the 500, but it'll penalize you for the duel, so we will have to check that out. That is a rule, because technically if you wreck, you're going to a backup car. But if you can drive to the pits, I can't really control what NR does, so if you drive to the pits, you're good. So Burt Ford is really lucky he was able to drive to the pits, because that 44-102 will stand. Oh man, this is gonna be a good lap right here. I would say good lap for the 14, but he's got a little nose damage from kind of like butt rape in the 8 of Eli Bright. Anyone in this pack? No. Rebecca Tyler, man, 2nd place. That's really good for her. Roushman Racing is one of the worst teams in the series, man. Not the worst, because every new team, like Black Flag Autosport, Kesey Motorsports, Akers Racing, Wood Brothers, and Braun, they are all at an 86. And then an 88 is like Kevin Harvick Incorporated, Stuart Haas Racing, and Roush Fenway Racing. So, that's how the rating system goes. Just over a minute remains. Kesey and Stover will each probably get 2 more laps. They'll get to finish this one and then get to start the next one. And man, even though they are really hooked together, it's just a really good tandem. My goodness. You don't ever see this in NR. Even though they're hooked together, they need a couple more cars because they can barely get to 200 on their own. They both ran a 44.842 last lap. That's nice. Man, they are really hooked together. Couple tandems. Wow, you never see this. This is awesome. Looks like 21 might start overheating, but Ruby Claudel going to the inside of Dalton. I don't know if I was tripping right there, but it looked like Dalton's roof flap was up. It's kind of trippy. I think it's just the FedEx sponsor on the roof. Brad Stover and Ryan Kesey, man, they are 2-car tandeming the crud out of this. Brad is going for it. Qualifying is over. They will not get another lap. 45.293. I don't know what Brad's was. 45.284. Joseph Rakowski's not going to improve. Mo Akers didn't get to. Yeah, Max isn't. Jeff Bright here, though, is going to get a nice run off him, but he's way too slow right now. No one in this pack will like touch by looking at their speeds. So Keon Eddington will run 45-0. That's about a second off. Oh, this big pack though. Alright, yeah, but everyone else, they are finishing up. They've already crossed the line. So really, they're done. Let's just advance. Oh, and then pause. Alright, Burt forward on the provisional poll. We still have to go through Group B, obviously. So Burt doesn't have the poll yet, but that 44-102, man, that's going to be hard to beat. Because look at these guys. I bet they're happy with their lap. A 44-74 is 18th fastest. 10th fastest, a 44.39. That's almost 4/10 slower. I mean, almost 3/10 slower, excuse me. Man, that 44.10 is going to be hard to beat, man. In amateur qualifying, we only had 4 guys break into a 44, and they were 44.9s, high 44.9s. So, very good lap by Burt. You can see who was slowest. Joseph Rakowski at a 45.53. Yeah, only a second and 2/10 off. Or, what am I talking about? Second, basically a second and a half off. Second and 4/10. So yeah, we'll be back for Group B. I forgot about this part. Let's see if anybody needed a tow back. Oh god, wrong button. Eli was just squeezing a little too much. Okay, Eli really didn't get that much damage. Alexander Rowe did a lot though. Dang. All right, we're gonna watch Burt forward. We know he didn't. We know he made it back, but I just want to see. Okay, yeah, he hit the wall pretty dang hard, so if he can go back, I feel like everyone else could have. Bullet Bill's driving off. Alexander Rowe's driving off. I feel like that was everybody, but you got to be sure, because I don't want to give someone an advantage if they actually needed the tow. Watching Landon Fenway. So really, it was just those 3 that got the damage. All right. What about up here? There was a little contact. I know the 14 made it through. All right, yeah, nobody is going to a backup car, so everyone will keep their spot, and it's good for them because Burt forward on provisional pole. Alexander Rowe is 5th. Bullet Bill is 4th. Landon Fenway, he might as well have gone to a backup because he's all the way back in 25th. But we'll be back for Group B. All right, back for Group number B, and I want to quickly apologize if you hear loud people in the background. Yeah, I don't know. They're playing awfully loud out there. Tried getting them to be quiet, but you know how that goes. So, anyways, Group B, you see everybody, kind of, sort of, not really. Who will be the first one to go out? It is your last season's champion, Nick Flood, leading the field. And then Hunter Spartan, who had a really good season last season. Zachary Fitzwater Sr. For KC Motorsports. There, I can remember the name. Rookie season in the Premier Series. In the amateur qualifying yesterday, I kept mentioning that Zach Fitzwater Sr. left the Truck Series to become a full-time amateur. He was in the KC Motorsports All-Star ride where the Cup guy or the Premier guys split it. So, my apologies. Kevin Villano leaving Red Bull to go to Stewart Haas Racing. Ramian Fisher back in the Premier Series for the first time since season 3, 2, 3. One of the lost seasons. Ryan King went in the rookie car for Chip Ganassi Racing. Tim Randolph, rookie to the RCR. Tyler Kaiser, last season's Amateur Series champion to Kevin Harvick Incorporated. Kapul Labai for Red Bull. Tom Akers to the new Akers Racing. Luciana Reese returns to Rich Petty Motorsports. Lego Bush back in the Premier Series for the first time since season 4 with Robert Yates Racing. Perry Allen in the newly numbered 81 for Joe Gibbs Racing in his rookie season. Max Anderson returns to Red Bull. Brayson Mitchell leaves Joe Gibbs Racing. He was with him in season 1 and then 3 to 5. So 4 seasons. And now he's with Akers Racing. And then back to Nick Flood. Oh, there is Bafud Sacco. Returns to the Premier Series. First time since season 4 with Chip Ganassi. Jaden Scott in Hendrick Motorsports' amateur rookie ride. Mohamed Zayn returns to Rubber H Racing for the 3rd straight season. Thibaut Claudel for Chip Ganassi Racing returns for the first time since Season 4. Tyler Flood to Kesey Motorsports, not his rookie season, his 3rd season. I believe the Kesey Motor... Oh, man. Heartbreak for Thibaut Claudel blowing up. He's not going to go to a backup car because it looks like he'll be able to... I feel like he'll be able to get back to his pits. He's going 120. Anyways, Kesey Motorsports. He's actually... I believe he's still repainting all the Kesey Motorsports Premier cars. I see another one right there. Kyle Kesey in 37. That is the amateur ride. So, yeah. Drew Charles for the new Premier team of BORA Racing. And TJ Hanley left Rush. He was with Rush Fenway for 2 seasons. And now he is with the new 2nd car for Rich Petty Motorsports. And man, I love that paint scheme. TJ Friend left Red Bull to go to Rubber H Racing. Mario Ramos in the Joe Gibbs Racing rookie car. Start looking for a pack. Nick Ventura returns to RCR. Steve Mullins in the Everham Motorsports rookie car. Samet Oskin returns to Hendrick Motorsports, the number 48. Currently drafting Brayson Mitchell. There's no packs. Max Anderson and Kyle Kesey. Lego Bush and Perry Allen. Luciana Reese, Ryan King. Oh, here we go. Tom Akers, Kapulabai, Angie Brown, and TJ Hanley. Kind of got a pack somewhat up ahead. Oh, man. Tyler Kaiser is about to get a huge run on the 30 of Tim Randolph. Oh, this is going to help even more. Let's see. Oh, man. Half qualifying is already almost over. Man, Tom Akers for Akers Racing on Provisional Bowl. I feel like that's not going to... Wow, that 44... Oh, my gosh. Tyler Kaiser is now literally on the Provisional Pole. The fastest time in Session 1 was a 44.102, which would be 2nd fastest right now. Tom Akers, I can't believe he pulled that out of his butt. Like, that is literally the lowest rating you can have. And he almost beat, a 96 overall team, which is literally tied for 3rd. That's crazy, Tom. Who are you drafting with? Oh, he's in this pack right here. That is insane. I'm not taking either from Tyler Kaiser because that's a pretty much underfunded car as well. But damn. Mario Ramos now in the rookie car. And Kevin Villano for Stewart-Haas Racing. Another basically underfunded team. If you're a 90 or below, you're basically underfunded. And I realize a lot of you guys don't understand what I mean when I say 90 overall or below. You'll see that at tracks that are not Daytona. It's not such a big difference where you're basically going to get lapped every race. But you can clearly see who the better teams are. So it would be fun to see which franchise drivers, so to speak, build those teams up. There's Kevin Villano, was on the provisional pole. Now he's down to 5th as Kapulabai. And this giant pack now on the pole. Wow, man, I thought that 44.102 was going to be hard to beat, but we are over a half a second faster. Y'all tripping in this pack, bro. See, Tim Randolph going to go from 14th to 13th. TJ Hanley currently P2. Tom Akers still P3. Andy Brown P4. This pack kind of got split up. I guess someone must have pit up ahead. 4 minutes remain. Tyler Kaiser, who was on pole, now down at P8. Nick Flood, last season's champion, needs to get in a bigger pack because right now that 44.264 would have gotten him 6th fastest than the other one, and that's 18th fastest. That is insanity. These guys must have watched what happened in Session A and realized, like, guys, we got to get a pack going pronto. Pullaby currently on near provisional pole overall. He was exactly 4/10 slower that lap. You're going to watch Tom Akers right here. He's going to try drafting up to Angie. He's going to need Angie to kind of stall out behind the 92 to help out Tom as much as possible. Like maybe get alongside. Because that would give that 49 a huge run. It's nice to see a new Dodge team come about. We don't have too many. Chevy is definitely the more popular brand in the Premier Series. You'll notice that a lot of teams, or a lot of manufacturers, they'll start out in amateur. And then if they do well, you'll see them move more slowly up into the Premier Series. Pontiac did really well last season, but they only had one team. They got 2 teams now in amateur, and we got a new Nissan in amateur, which hopefully will be cool if that team does well enough. As you see Tom Akers' teammate Brayson Mitchell. Yeah, hopefully if Nissan and Pontiac do well enough, we'll start seeing them more and more in the Premier Series. We also got Volkswagen in the Premier Series, or in the Amateur Series. That is actually what KC Motorsports is in amateur. But Volkswagen isn't permitted in the Premier Series. They have to do at least a season in amateur. So KC Motorsports is Chevy in trucks in Premier, and then Volkswagen in amateur. I believe that's all the manufacturers. We got Chevy, Dodge, Ford, Pontiac, and then Volkswagen and Nissan. 6 manufacturers. And most of the teams go with Chevy, naturally. See, go watch someone else. Man, Nick Flood, he can't necessarily drag the brake either because there's no guarantee that pack will still be there by the time they catch up. Or they'll just leave him hanging. But I don't know, man. Last Team's Champion's going to be starting mid-pack when it comes time for the duels. Oh, man. Kyle Kesey nearly getting dumped from Max Anderson. That's just pushing a little too hard. Oh, my mom's yelling, so I apologize if you hear that. Her and my little sibling Zoe are wrestling, and I believe Zoe must have pulled her hair. Lol. Man, Max Anderson's got a huge run right now, but nowhere to go with it. Kyle Kesey's getting out, man. He's currently 6th fastest in the amateur ride. Okay, just to clarify, if it's an amateur series driver in that ride, it's called the rookie ride. And in the amateur series, if a Cup Series driver's in it, it's called the All-Star ride. I don't want to have to keep saying that because I keep confusing myself. So you got the amateur ride and the All-Star ride. So under a minute remain, these guys are probably going to have time to complete 2 more laps. This lap, and then the next one in the runoff time. Kapulabai, still on pole. I don't see that changing unless we get a huge pack. I'd say it has to be 5 cars or more. Like right here, maybe. And then the 88 would have to just, like, drag the brake a little bit and start zooming. Especially if Kapulabai is running his fastest lap that last lap. Yeah, I don't know why y'all are going out there, man. Y'all ain't gonna have time. Brayson, some battling it out. That ain't gonna help at all. Alright, 10 seconds remain. I'm gonna watch the 39 Kevin Villano because he's the only hope right here. Alright, we are officially in the runoff time. Can anybody do anything? I'm just gonna be watching the scoreboard as they drive by. I saw really no changes. Tim Randolph is up to P3 now, so that's something new. I don't know when that happened. Saw no changes in this one either. I know I'm not going to see a change in that one, really, or this one either. It's going to take more than a 2-car tandem. Bafood sat, or who? No, it was the 42 that blew a motor early on. They get that fixed? Because I haven't really seen them, I don't think. Oh, there they are. Okay. P6. Wow, I'm blind. Alright. Qualifying is over. Once the runoff time ends, you can't really set a time after. You can set 1 lap time in the runoff time, and then you're out there just running laps because lap times don't advance. Or update, I guess. But right now, this is not counting Session 1. I'm just going to read the top 10 from Session B, and then we'll combine it all at the end of the video, and you'll see it like I did in Amateur. But right now, your top 10 fastest from Session B went Kapulabai and Team Red Bull on pole for the Daytona 500. As long as they don't wreck out in the duels, you will see the 82 on pole, along with the 45 TJ Hanley, 2 is outside in the Daytona 500, as long as he doesn't wreck out in duel number 2. You got Tim Randolph 3rd, Tom Akers 4th, Angie Brown 5th, T-Bell Claudel 6th, TJ Friend 7th, Kyle Kesey 8th, Drew Charles 9th, and Kevin Villano 10th. I see a lot of underfunded drivers or teams inside that top 10, and it makes my heart happy. Real happy. You can see everyone else. You can see your lap times. The only person, or I can't talk. The only real people that should really get anything from this video are Kapulabai and TJ Hanley. Because Ryan King's 46096, that got him last. He qualified last out of everybody that set a time. the 29 in this session, the 29 in this last session, he is the slowest driver at Daytona. But he could still start. Okay, 29. I mean, he'll be in session A, or I mean dual 1, I believe. So I think, yeah, he'll be session 1, I believe, or dual 1. My God, but he could still start third if he wins dual 1. So really, as long as TJ Hanley and who got pole? My bad. I apologize. Pull it by. As long as they don't wreck out duel or in their duels, they'll be on pole. I've been rambling. You guys know how duels work. What am I talking about? I don't want to thank you guys so much for watching. Tomorrow will be the amateur duels, which is litty. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. Congratulations to Pull by and TJ Hanley. And as always, I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.
He said, boy, can you make fans stand and scream your name? Have you hit him in the ass, never let off the gas till you rode into victory lane? He said, boy, do you know how it feels when you're running 3 wide? Cause if you're Daytona bound, let me wonder you're in for a ride.